speeding on the road. Can you see? Holy smokes. Holy cow. I guess my rainwater tanks are full. Wow. Well, welcome back, friends and relatives, to Snake Hill Permaculture. You'll have to excuse me for being so excited about rain. I grew up in the desert, and every time it rains, it's like Christmas for us. So seeing this much rain here in the Northeast is just a blessing to me and to us. But even though we have this much rain coming down, and we've had bouts of rain, currently here we are in November of 2024. Western New York is in a bad drought for the area, and so we have had water issues here on the property. It first started with our well that came with the house. Unfortunately, the well was degraded, and unbeknownst to us, because it's not normally tested, we had a salt water well. And so there was a bottled water system in the house that the previous owners had been using for drinking water and cooking water. But you could not drink the well water at all. And there's no type of filtration that you can use to get salt out of water. Other minerals and things, yes, there's systems for that, but salt completely dissolves within water, so you can't get it out. And what we learned is that there is a huge salt deposit under this part of the country. In fact, it's so big that salt mines are mined under various parts of the Great Lakes, and a lot of that salt is what is used on the roads during the wintertime to help melt the snow and ice. Unfortunately, we seem to have a salt pocket that was quite close to the surface. The old well was dug 100 feet down, and from what I'm told, no well in this region here in Western New York should be dug deeper than 60 feet, because you will get salt and then possibly natural gas and oil, because this is a gas and oil region as well. So we started with that. The second problem we have is that we have poorly draining soil. And we did a soil test, which you can do yourself where you live. You just dig a hole, and you want to dig it about 12 inches deep, and measure it and pour water into the hole, and then see how long it takes to drain. So fast draining drains instantly to 4 minutes or so. Good draining, 5 to 15 minutes. Slow draining is up to an hour, and poor draining, it takes more than 6 hours. We have between slow and poor draining soil, depending on where we are on the landscape. And so that's why we're working very hard to mitigate that. The other problem that we have is that most of the land is grass. And while that seems, pretty and nice, and yes, we need bits of grass for kids to play and doggies to go potty or whatever we want to do. But grass is not good for creating soil. And then because this place is on the side of a hill, when it rains, the rain sheets off. It doesn't sink into the ground because we have poor draining clay, heavy clay soil. It sheets off down the side of our property into the creek. And that is not good. So our soil is actually quite dehydrated at times in certain areas. It's either waterlogged or dehydrated. So we're mitigating that with planting as many trees and plants that we can, but fast rushing water rushing off of grass and clay is not good for recharging a well, and we had to dig a new well. So we are mitigating that as best we can with some of these different types of strategies. The damage to the land from the digger was intense, but we obviously needed fresh water. So we had a 20-foot shallow excavated well dug, and we were able to reuse a lot of the slate that the digger brought to the surface for garden paths. So that was nice. And we were doing just fine with the water. Our water's completely drinkable, but during this drought we started having water problems and having our freshly dug well run out of water. So that's why we are mitigating with soil remediation, lots of plants, slow sink and spread, so that we can not have water problems in the future.
Yeah, it's coming down the shale, and there's some gas too. You can see the water flowing in from the rock, just flowing in. So that's good.
So another strategy that we've been implementing right now, because we've just been in such a drought, and it's the first week of November. We are, we're capturing the rain into these tanks, but we have the hose hooked up and the valves are open, and the hose is, sorry, she's nuts this morning, goes down to our well, where it's flooding the water from the roof to the well, because our well got quite low during this drought down there. And so that has actually been getting us the water that we need from the infrequent rains we've been getting. And of course, we will, we're not having the freezing temps yet, but once we do, then we'll package this up for the winter. So far so good. We've tested our drinking water, and it's fine between being filtered through the ground and then the filtration system and reverse osmosis system in the house. It's perfectly fine to drink. We're, the Northeast, we are having an unprecedented drought. So if we come down into my basement, we have been storing, this is all rainwater that we've stored, that we captured off of our roof outside. This is for watering seedlings during the winter. This is the old cistern that is original with the house, and it also comes off the roof, but it is not potable. I wouldn't drink this because we have shingled roof. It is stone lined. That's a sump pump. Just make sure we don't flood. But that is an additional emergency source of water. This is our modern well pump for the well outside. Pressure tank for the well. And then our water filtration system here, which is a water softener and gross filter, as well as reverse osmosis. So it's perfectly fine for us to drink our well water. So you always want to be thinking about water strategies in this day and age. So just think about them, do what you can, store water, capture water as much as you can. We are planting as many things as we can to capture water outside and sink it and store it in the ground as well, so that we make sure that our well recharges. Grass, which this place mostly had, just water just rushes off the grass and into the creek, which is not good for the well. So just some thoughts.